Week 2 of Double Masters previews has begun, and we have got some very spicy cards. And Jake, I think we've hit the biggest bust in this entire set so far.
Yes, this spoiler season has been like putting the faucet on the slowest trickle imaginable. Let's make it be a month next time of spoilers, but we've got a lot of cards to talk about today, and yes, we have one card that is a colossal bust. The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We are in Week 2 of Double Masters previews, and we've got a lot of cards to talk about, good and bad. But before we do, if you would do us a favor, go down there, hit like, hit subscribe. It really helps us out.
It's the best way to support the channel with just the click of a button. Are you excited to talk about Ravenous Trap? I know that we are, and it's been upshifted to rare. So if you have your cranky pants on because of Ravenous Trap, you're in the right place.
Let's throw it over to the cards. So we start off the new week, the second week, with Sen Triplets.
Mystery boosters.
Right. We just saw this reprinted, and everybody was super excited about it. And so they were like, people really love the Sen Triplets thing. Let's give it to them again. Before mystery boosters,
because it's in the printer right now, so it's like let it
Control C, Control P, and they're like, it's a mythic slot. Who cares? It fits with the artifact theme that we've seen in the limited aspect of this set in a big way. Sen Triplets before mystery boosters was last reprinted in Alara Reborn. That was the OG, and that card is still above $40. So Jake, this isn't like the hugest miss as far as a mythic goes.
No, it's a fine card for limited as well, depending on what kind of mana fixing we see. It's something I'm not super excited about. We just saw a reprint, so I think we can just kind of say, this is a little bit of a low-end mythic, seeing as we just got a foil variant printed in a set where the foils were very calculated. If you haven't looked up mystery boosters, there was a weird thing with foils in that set. Archangel of Thune, this is a great card. 2 white, 3 other, flying lifelink whenever you gain life. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. It fits the Double Masters theme with all the counters. Nice 3/4. Big threat. It was definitely the chase card in the set it originally came out in. I believe it was a core set around maybe core 16,
2014.
17. Oh, it was 14. Okay,
yep.
Yeah. Yeah, really strong card, though. Again, a little bit more of a lower-end mythic. You gotta think you're paying for a very expensive pack or a very expensive draft or limited experience. Is this a card you really want to open? I think in limited, yes.
Absolutely.
But anybody just cracking open a pack, I mean, there's definitely worse cards that we're going to talk about. One of them coming up.
For sure. I mean, with these packs, you're opening up 2 of them. And so opening a card like this, the card's currently $25. Like Jake said, originally printed in 2014 and then reprinted one more time in Iconic Masters.
It's pretty scarce.
So yeah, we've got 2 copies of it.
Angels are super popular in EDH.
Definitely.
Let me just throw that in there. And then,
absolutely.
With
Besides
your
EDH, it's not very widely played. But these mythics that are $20+ dollars, just like Sen Triplets, these will represent, making sure that pack gets back to the value that you spent on it, if that is your entire goal. Now, you look at these packs from a lot of different angles, obviously. Like Jake said, in limited, that's going to be a house. I'll tell you what's not going to be a huge awesome card to open, and that is Tuk Tuk the Explorer. This card is dirt cheap, under $1.
Yeah, dirt cheap, under $1. People who like goblin EDH enthusiasts, people like that are gonna like this card. Recurring it is great. Every single time it dies, throw a Skull Clamp on it, get a 5/5, bring it back, throw a Skull Clamp on it, draw 2 cards, get a 5/5. But I mean, yes, is it an awful rare to pull when you're paying a premium price for a big double pack? Yes, but also keep in mind Double Masters is designed in such a way where it has this safety net of, well, you get 2 foils that you get to roll the dice on,
right,
and you get 2 rares or mythics that you get to roll the dice on. I think it's very calculated, and I think that's something that people are forgetting about. You know, you could open an old pack of Modern Masters 2013 and pull that skeleton bat. You know what I'm talking about. I forget what it's called, but the skeletal bat, I think it might be called. But it's an absolute jank rare, like many other jank rares. And I think, you know, these packs are going to be better than people think they are. Is this an awful rare? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the times when Jake asks me to remember a random jank rare from some booster set that I will have absolutely no memory of. Avenger of Zendikar, though, I do have a memory of this card. 3 prints, World Wake, C13 and
Good
C18. It's $12 right now, and so the price will go
EDH
down.
Card.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is, you know, it's a $10 mythic. At least it's not a full miss.
Yeah, and also it costs 7, so there's specific decks that want it, and not every deck that runs green is going to want Avenger of Zendikar. So that's why that price is low on this card. It's been reprinted a lot, and it's a very attractive card for Commander products. People are like, "Oh, we're running big green. Well, let's put Avenger of Zendikar in there." It just makes sense, and it's one of those cards that's kind of like, you know, it's like a, I don't know, like the Rob Schneider of MTG. It's not a big actor, but it's like, you know, it's like
shows
people know
up
who it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It shows
got a couple one-liners that you remember
bigger
from
than
movies.
Rob Schneider, if we're being honest here.
Liege of the Tangle is also a big dumb green creature. Whoops, my finger slipped. We got a Dualcaster Mage coming up. Let's talk about Liege of the Tangle for just a second, though. It's a $4 card.
You got
right
1
now.
second, go.
Right. It's a $4 card. It was only printed in Scars of Mirrodin. I'm absolutely completely on board just to move on. Dualcaster Mage, here's another one. $2 rare. This card has been printed ad nauseum, MTG joke. And, I mean, it's a good card in EDH, but we don't really have to spend too much time on it. Jake, Death's Shadow is a $7 card right now and only printed twice, though. World Wake and MM17. You have had experience playing this card in Modern.
Yeah. I played it in Grixis Death Shadow. I played it in Jund Death Shadow. It's a great card. The deck is, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's a fun card to play. Make sure to play fetch lands and shock lands and anything that gets your life total low. Play Death Shadow as early as possible and swing with it. It's another one of those cards where it's like, it's very niche, it's very specific, but it's, you know, it's a name. It's like the Dennis Leary of Magic the Gathering. People know who it is.
We're gonna pick C&D actors for the entire video. This video, I'm okay with that. We saw a reprint of a very famous uncommon, and most importantly, we saw these babies. We have got Showcase Full Art Lightning Greaves. Jake, I have a feeling that this will be like Soul Ring was for Inventions. It won't hit quite as hard, but it will be that like $2 uncommon that has you know, $80
just like
plus Showcase version. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. It's just like Masterpiece. There's going to be a lot of people that are just fine having this art. They don't care about the foil. But yeah, I would expect the foil, especially right out the gate during the hype period, for this to be around like $60 to $80 in foil. If you find it for cheaper than that, I might pick it up. You know, the Masterpiece Lightning Greaves, exquisite. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. This art, though, it's excellent. And I mean, this flavor text, it's new. After lightning struck the cliffs, the ore became iron, the iron became steel, and the steel became Greaves. The lightning never left. That is a very well written piece of flavor text.
Where'd you read that? Where was that?
It's at the bottom of the card where flavor text happens on cards.
That's crazy.
Jake I didn't
only
even
sees
read that.
It's just
art,
a lot. I'm not going to read all of
rules.
that, and I already forgot what you said. But I'm excited about the card. It has dollars attached to it. So.
Mana Reflection also has dollars attached to it. This is a $44 card right now. However, that card is driven very, very quickly by scarcity. It was only 100%. Printed in Shadowmoor. However, it is a expensive rare to open, and it's a card that will always remain viable in Commander. So it's, even if the price goes down a little bit, I wouldn't start panic selling your Mana Reflections, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and is this new art or is this the same art? Do we have
I believe this is new art.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really, really like the card. Yes, scarcity is a thing. Twice is on the card, so it makes perfect sense for it to be in Double Masters.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. In EDH, ramp to this, get it out as soon as possible, profit. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Basalt Monolith is another card getting
Infinite.
Yet another reprint, right? This is one of your infinite allowers in a lot of EDH decks. You'd be surprised to know, Jake, Basalt Monolith, even these printings of it are around $10. This is a very highly desired card, and hopefully this printing of it at Uncommon, it only having been printed in Commander 13 and Commander 15 outside of its original printings, will help drive that price down so that people can acquire it.
Yeah, it's one of those cards where, like, if I were to go for a Basalt Monolith, like, this card is going to be reprinted into the ground all the time.
Definitely.
From a finance perspective, get, like, an old one. Get, like, a really old one. If you really want, like, a flashy Basalt Monolith. However, I am excited that this card is going to be foil uncommon. Like, that's a big deal. It's now entering the ranks of Thran Dynamo, which has been printed in a lot of different Masters sets at this point, and is now a foil variant as well. So this is really cool. I mean, OG foil Thran Dynamo from Urza Block. I mean, forget about it. I think that card's like over $100 now.
Yeah,
on that original border.
We found out that we've got a Blood Moon reprint, and we also have a Blood Moon Showcase card.
Dude, this card makes no sense to me in this set.
Why does it make no sense to you in this set?
It just doesn't fit Double Masters at all. Like, I don't see anything Double Masters about this card. No, I think it's just like, it's a Blood Moon. It's a name. It's like...
yeah, I think it's a name of a card to sell a set. I mean, it's been reprinted in a ton of different sets. It's still a $13 card, so it does still have value.
We just don't need it in here.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of non-basic lands are we playing where you're like, oh man, Blood Moon.
Well,
we need Blood Moon.
In EDH, it can be crippling to some decks. It is still played in Modern, to my knowledge.
I know Mazevith is in here now and stuff, so yeah.
Right.
I mean, sure.
I think it's a reprint that they just wanted to make to give it a name. Just like this card, Goblin Guide. We got the Goblin Guide art from its last reprint and Goblin Guide Showcase.
Love this art.
So previously we had Zendikar Goblin Guide, and then we got the MM17 that had the art on what is now this reprint for Double Masters. This card is all the way down to $11. This used to be a $20 card, but the deck that it was played in Modern fell out of favor.
Yeah, it's a great burn card, and you're right. It is just, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we don't have a lot of people playing paper right now. So formats like Modern are really, really suffering. Like, there's not a lot of people playing Modern. We even know that the tournament structure kind of shifted away from Modern, or it was intended to, and there was going to be a lot of Pioneer. And so a lot of the Modern staples have dropped really low. I mean, Karn Liberated used to be, $70 or $80 card. I think it got as high as $100 at one point. Karn is now a $30 card, and that was before it was announced as a reprint in this set. So there's a lot of cards here that are Modern staples that have really gone down in value, and after this set, you can bet they're going to continue to go down in value as well. However, this in foil is really cool, and for the people that do play Burn and are enthusiasts of Goblin Guide, people that play Goblins, I think this is going to be a really cool card for them.
Yeah, this showcase art is very cool. It is that same goblin from the MM17 art that is now in a different pose, trying to still get himself unlost and help out the group.
This was an OG commander, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
Vishkal was from C11. This has only ever been printed in that sealed product. $5 card. It's not very widely played. I think it's nice to have more copies out there if people are playing it in their EDH Tribal Vampires deck, or if somebody is possibly running this card as their commander. I think it's a cool card. It's just not a super played card.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, look at the casting cost of it. It is very expensive, but at the top end of some sort of Aristocrats kind of build, it does work really nice with that sacrifice built into it. Not a big hit as far as if you're opening a pack for value. As far as limited, sure, go for it. Flying Lifelink, this will turn a game around real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. It will if you can get that mana up there to cast it. We also have Hidden Stockpile. This plays into the artifact theme of the limited set. This is one of those, medium power uncommons that are good to fill out the premium sets with, but is not very notable from a finance standpoint. Here's
That's
Brainstorm. True. How many times have we seen Brainstorm printed? And we do have
1,000 and forever in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. But we did get this, which is Showcase Brainstorm, yet another common that is being printed into the Showcase treatment. And Jake, for me, this one falls in the same exact category as some of these other choices they've made. I would rather them choose, there's always going to be good ones and bad ones. I would rather them choose playable cards if it's going to be bad from a finance standpoint. Somebody could feasibly pick up a 4 set of this Brainstorm Showcase and have that to play with.
Yeah, I actually think that this card is going to be highly sought after. I think there's a lot of people with legacy decks that are going to want this, maybe the Showcase foil variant of this card. This is a big, important card in the legacy of Magic. It's been around forever. It's great. It makes sense that it's getting a Showcase variant. I'm into it.
So it's draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards. So we see the Double Master's influence there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stoneforge Mystic is a cool reprint for them to send us. We only had the World Wake version before this. $35 card, cool hit as a rare, and the fun part, we got this gorgeous art as our Showcase Stoneforge Mystic. She looks like that actress from the dystopian show on Hulu where women are very oppressed. What is
Elizabeth
that show
Moss.
called? Yes, it looks like this character looks like Elizabeth Moss to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
This art, though, is gorgeous. These swords on either side of Elizabeth Moss are being crafted right out of the ground upon which she kneels. We've got, another playable Showcase powerful card that could be
this is definitely going to be a hit.
Modern, doesn't matter. Yeah,
this was unbanned in Modern semi-recently, within the last year before hit the fan, excuse my language. But this is just, this is a great card. This is definitely a hit. Expect the foil in this to be very expensive, the foil variant of this card. And this is one of the best rares that you could possibly open as far as cards printed at rare. So if you do open rares, I hope you open Stoneforge Mystic foil.
Definitely. Jake, we got a mythic from our college days of playing MTG. Yeah, this one has only been ever printed in New Phyrexia and then some promo versions, like some of those others. Normally when I say it's only been printed in a certain set, I'm excluding promo versions or even, like from the vaults. I normally don't count those as true printings of the card because that doesn't really move the needle as far as a finance perspective goes. Batterskull's only been printed in New Phyrexia. Still a $16 card. It's at Mythic, so it's not going to absolutely flood the market with copies of this card, but sure. Man, oh man, do I have bad memories of getting my face pummeled in by this card in Standard.
Yeah, it's one of those cards that control decks really love it because it's your win condition. You can bring it in, you can bounce it if you need to. It's just one of the cards that closes out the game. It gets your life total back after, the burn deck that you've staved off with Wrath of God. You've just cleared the battlefield. Now you need something to get your life total back. Batterskull's a perfect card. It's great for constructed 60 card formats. It's excellent for EDH as well. I'm a big fan. I always have been ever since it came out.
Yeah, Batterskull's always had a cool place in our heart, and we've got a Showcase Batterskull as well.
Yeah, very cool. I don't exactly know what is going on.
It looks to me like some kind of centipede type creature, large or small, that has burst from the ground and is coming towards you to batter you with its proverbial skull. It's a cool variant. It's a cool Showcase card to get, I think, if it's going to be one of that group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. if I'm opening a foil showcase Batterskull, I'm probably not going to complain very much.
No, no. I will tell you what you will complain about, though, is getting Geth.
Please tell me this
mythics.
did not get a showcase variant. Did this get a showcase variant?
This did not get a showcase variant that we have seen. Geth is in the last video, the one we posted Sunday night, early Monday morning. I joked that Ion Storm was like the Tree of Redemption of this set. I was wrong. We found the Tree of the Redemption set card in this set, excuse me.
Yeah, but other than this, the mythics have not been very bad so far.
We haven't had a ton of misses.
Really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Geth, Lord of the Vault is a playable card. It does fit into the limited theme. Tree of Redemption is mostly just garbage that will never be played in anything forever, so help me God. Geth, Lord of the Vault, will be played in things. Geth can be played in black EDH decks that have artifact subthemes. Geth can be, or you don't even actually need the artifact subtheme. You can just return things from your graveyard to the battlefield. Geth will be played in limited. You know, this is a bomb, an intimidating.
I just thought about this. Dude, Tree of Redemption was printed as a card to represent Innistrad, wasn't it?
I'm not really sure. I'm
pretty sure it was. In Masters 25, every card that was printed represented the set that it came out of, and it was one of the cards that represented Innistrad. It was just awful. Anyway, sorry, you gave me flashbacks of a terrible choice.
No, I know. Geth has only ever been printed in Scars of Mirrodin, but it's only $2. If that gives you any indication of how little this card is played, one set printing, $2 mythic. And honestly,
it's just too expensive. It's just so expensive. Like, it is great. It has a beacon of unrest built into it in a way, but it's just so expensive.
Yeah, we're hitting the part of the video where we've got a lot of disappointing cards to talk about, and this card is up next. Ravenous Trap is a trap originally printed in Zendikar at uncommon. It is a 50-cent uncommon that sees no play, and it has been upshifted to rare in Double Masters. I don't understand. End of sentence.
Yeah, I guess because they downshifted stuff like Voice of Resurgence, they thought people wouldn't notice this kind of thing.
No, I mean, they know people are going to notice. Every decision and every move that Wizards makes, the internet and we analyze it with a fine-tooth comb. I just don't understand. Maybe it was,
here's the perspective.
I would say maybe upshifted into rare for limited, but even in limited, this card doesn't need to be not uncommon. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's where I'm looking at it from, is a limited perspective. Even at uncommon, it's going into my sideboard, and it might come in during the second game.
Right.
So it's not like putting it at uncommon is going to create this like situation where all of a sudden the game is like unbroken or unbalanced because so many Ravenous Traps are showing up in limited. Like, this is honestly a travesty. I mean, get it. They don't want it to show up a lot, so it makes sense to put it at rare. But I would have just left it out of the set altogether or put it at uncommon, because this is just, it's a bummer. And I will say this, Ravenous Trap filled a very specific niche before Leyline of the Void and Leyline of Sanctity, before that stuff was reprinted in a recent core set. People were getting Ravenous Trap because Leyline of the Void was so expensive, and this was during Modern Horizons when it first came out, and Hogak had taken over Modern. This was when people still played Paper Magic, and yes, Ravenous Trap went up to like as high as $5 or $6. But since then, since Leyline has been reprinted, since people aren't really playing Modern, this is just a colossal whiff. It doesn't make any sense for it to be a rare. It really sucks.
Yeah, in a set that has been very pleasantly surprising and hype-inducing so far, this today I think has been the biggest miss that everyone's just like, rah? At least everything up to this point has been playable, my dudes. Now you've got Ravenous Trap, where, I mean, this is binder bulk, man. This is draft chaff almost at rare.
Yeah, I would be fine picking this late out of a Zendikar pack in a draft and being like, ooh, Ravenous Trap is still stuck around? Sure, I'll pick this up for the collection. But other than that, no, it hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot to open this card, and people are going to open it. So get ready to open it.
It doesn't even have playability in EDH, really, because there are just so many strictly betters.
Downshifted in rarity.
Yeah, it's a rare now. It's only got one printing in Dragon's Maze. It's 60 cents to give you a sense of how much it is played. However, I mean, Jake, a double striking Hydra to a player opening that up who's new and wants to build some weird, cool EDH deck with a bunch of Stompy Hydra stuff, this is a playable card. You can put it in that deck. Ravenous Trap has no application. We've moved on. And bro,
as far as like limited goes, this card is an absolute house. It's playable early. It's playable late. It will close out a game. This is just. I'm
glad that it's not a mythic, so that I'm not opening this if I do get a mythic. I would rather get something else that's hopefully not Geth.
Would I rather this be a Snapcaster Mage? Yes.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. But let's go back to some very good cards. How about Avacyn, Angel of Hope? We've got 2 printings on this card, an Avacyn Restored and Iconic Masters, and the card, depending on which version you're getting, sells for between $45 and $51. So it's a very cool reprint, and Jake, let me hit you with this. Boom, baby.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. This is so nice looking. This in foil is going to be choice. This is probably the card that I'm most looking forward to actually seeing a foil copy of it, just because I want to be amazed. But
yeah, I want to inspect it. I want to see these foils, and I want them to be flat. They need to be flat out of the pack. If these come out of the pack and have any kind of curling, I'm going to be super disappointed. If you open a foil and you don't put it into a sleeve and into a binder immediately, that's on you. But these need to come out of packs, and they need to look good. They have to look good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a premium set. It needs premium attention. Avacyn, Angel of Hope was nice to see today, especially after we hit that lull from like Geth to Ravenous Trap to Savage Hydra. We were just like, need something cooler. Okay, and they said, all right, how about an Avacyn Showcase card? And, everyone was just super hyped about this one. This has got playability in EDH. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is what you want your Showcase Mythics to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it looks good.
Ratchet Bomb's a $1 card. It's been printed a ton of times. Not too much to say there. Hannah, this one actually has some interesting conversation to have about it, because our last 2 printings of Hannah were in C16 and Masters 25, and they were with Therese Nielsen Art, who did a self-portrait of herself almost to represent Hannah, Ship's Navigator, and be the art for those cards. Wizards has since parted ways with her as an artist. They won't be hiring her any longer. Hannah has printings in Invasion, which has different art and is the cheapest of the group, because I think people don't like that art. C16 and Masters 25 are the prints that have the most value at about $5. But even at $5, you can hear it's not widely played and only really ever hits play in decks that have some kind of legendary creature sub-theme, or have an artifact enchantment creature or artifact enchantment card sub-theme.
Yeah, I think the ability's great. It's very niche. It's a utility card. It's a great card, but again, lower end in this set as far as what you're opening. I'm not going to be super excited to open a Hannah Ship's Navigator. However, I will possibly acquire one. I do like the legendary frame.
Yeah, and the legendary frame on this, the art is excellent. I mean, I love
picking one of
Chris
these up
Rollis,
when it's cheap, I'll probably do that, most likely.
What Chris Rollis has done with the light here coming from behind the ship and reflecting through her hair, it just looks gorgeous. Did an excellent job with this piece, and it makes sense that over the next year or 2, we will start seeing reprints of cards that have primarily, I won't say exclusively, but primarily Therese Nielsen or even Noah Bradley art as the primary preferred, most expensive version, if you will. We will start to see reprints of those cards most likely, and this sort of kicks that off and gives us the inclination that that thought may be on the right track. Mazevith is up next. Only 2 printings on this card, Jake. The Dark and Eternal Masters. The Dark The Dark copy being $30 and Eternal Masters being $20. Not the Dirk. It was not printed in the Dirk.
The Dark version of this card, it's like the Dark had such weird, like card quality in my opinion. I really like both versions, though. If you could find like a nice near mint, the Dark version, I really like that one. But any of them that are like all beat up, I'm not into it. This card, however, is very, very powerful. If you get this in a limited experience, you're going to be able to do some pretty dirty things to your opponent. So as far as a case for having Blood Moon in the set, this is probably the best case for it.
Yeah, probably so. It's also a very desirable EDH card, so if we can get that price for a land that's not like super sexy, just very good tech for 2 color or fewer decks, I would say, getting that price down from $20 is only a good thing. And
remember, it doesn't float mana. So if you think well, it just is another land in the deck, it really isn't.
No, it's essentially a utility artifact that counts as a land. How about another utility artifact that's highly played in EDH, and that is Oblivion Stone.
Yeah, big Tron card here as well. Good card, reprinted a lot.
Yeah,
don't really have to say much more. It's a great card.
Yeah, it's a $5 card. It's got 3 reprints, and it's an EDH staple.
It's not a Ravenous Trap.
No, make sure you pick up. I would say it's going to be at its cheapest all time after this set goes wide in the first couple weeks. Might be a good time to pick up an Oblivion Stone or 3 if you need them for a few EDH decks. And then we'll wrap this day of spoilers out with Darksteel Forge, Jake. Here's another mythic. Fits the artifact theme. 3 prints total. $20 card. Straight up 9 mana. Artifacts you control are indestructible.
Sure. And we... in a previous video, we'll go ahead and link it in the cards. We spoiled the one guy, the 2/2 for 4, that can sacrifice an artifact to go get an artifact. Mm-hmm. So a non-creature artifact to go get an artifact. So this is a very, very powerful card. It's a big EDH staple. It's one of those cards where if your opponent has resolved Darksteel Forge, you're probably going to lose the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That takes us back around to the beginning of the... And we'll close the book on Monday, the second week of Double Master Spoilers. We've got a few more of these to do. The set wraps out previews on Thursday, and we'll be there right alongside telling you our opinions of the cards that are being reprinted.
Yep, that's right. You've said it all. You've said it best. I don't know what more. I've passed the test. Everything is good. We've done our best. Tomorrow we'll talk about more cards.
Make sure that you go check out Jake's analysis of the VIP Double Masters boosters if you want to tap into a little bit of the MTG Finance side of this set. And make sure you look out for his other financial analysis of the set coming very soon. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way out, and we'll catch you later.